Roy Krishna is no doubt the biggest name in Fiji football. From kicking the ball with his friends to captaining the Fiji team in the Olympics and now having international contracts. I sat down with him and talked about his life and future, starting the conversation with his childhood.
Just a normal kid, running around in the village, barefoot, playing with my cousin, my brothers, and just having good fun time.
We all have many different dreams we wish for in our school days. Krishna says soccer was not his first dream.
Yes, I was looking up to. We had two police officers in Siberia at that time. So I told my parents, and everyone knew that when I grow up, I wanted to become a police officer. So
from police officer to now being a soccer icon for the youth. So how did Krishna develop the love for soccer?
As a young kid, in a village, you just want to play with your cousins, and Dad bought me a soccer ball, and then used to kick around with my cousin, and then went to primary school, played for primary school, and then secondary school where I took it really seriously, and then played for under 15, 17, and 19, and that's when I knew that I can continue this journey. And then when I joined the under 20 Fiji team, and then I was enjoying even more. And then I don't know where the police officer went. So and then I went to New Zealand. I played there, and then after that I wanted to become a professional footballer. And then I was lucky enough to get a contract at Wellington Phoenix, and the rest is history.
Just like many of us, Krishna says he has had his fair share of ups and downs.
Yeah, there was a bit of ups and downs. I remember I used to walk in the sugarcane field with my grandfather, my nana. I used to plant rice. What else I did? Yes, there's a lot of memories. Even during the Sonatan tournaments, there's a lot of ethnic tournaments was going on back then, and I used to sell bean. I used to go around, bean 10 cents. So I was a bit shy, but it's a good memories at that time. So
through his ups and downs, he says he enjoyed his time as youth, and after turning professional, his driving factor became the people he surrounded himself by.
At that time, I didn't know much, but I was just enjoying life. So I didn't know what was tough journey. But as I was getting older, I knew what I had, and which made me a stronger person today, who I am. And I just was blessed to be around good people from young, and even now. I had some good coaches who's been always there for me, and I can't forget my Rex is also my manager, and now my wife is also a manager. So I'm just blessed to be around good people.
As the famous saying goes, behind every successful man there is a woman. His wife is his manager, and Krishna sees her as his biggest motivation.
Wow, it's a very tough question. I'll say she's a rock. I would say a rock. I think when I met her, my soccer career went to a different level, meaning there was no one to push me. So I think when she came, she really pushed me really hard. And I remember when I don't score a goal, I was more scared to even go home and face her, because she was always honest to me, and which I loved about her, and that made me a good person who I am today. And and even in good times, even in bad times. But even when I score a hat trick, she comes. She says she could have scored 3 or 4 or 5 goals. So she's never happy. But she's a good girl, and I know she cooks me good food, which I'm lucky enough. But I think I would say in simple terms, she's my rock.
Krishna says his diet has played a crucial role in his performance. So I had to ask him what his diet was like.
Oh, my diet. When I was playing amateur, I didn't know much about diet, what it does to your body, and And when I signed professional with Wellington Phoenix, I think body fat was a main factor. And us Fijians, we like to eat bread and cassava and roti. So I worked really hard on my diet, especially my body fat. And after, you can see, when I first started at Phoenix and then when I finished at Phoenix, my graphic was going high. So I was cutting down on a lot of bread and a lot of carbs because I was not used to, because I was getting a lot of fat that time. So and then now I'm on a good diet, but as you know, now I'm on a break. So normally when I'm playing, I'm on a very strict diet, and that's when I don't eat a lot of curries. But when I come home, I love my curries.
Speaking of his diet, it was a chance for me to ask what Roy Krishna's favorite food is.
My favorite, I think people will laugh at me. I love bacon chokka. I love my roti, and also fish lolo as my favorite.
Apart from diet, it is important to know that training also plays a huge part in performance, and Krishna says that his training is very important to him.
My training is pretty intense, especially professional environment. When I was a amateur, it was more relaxed, and not a lot of people following you. But when you sign for a professional contract, a lot of people are watching you, and you need to perform to be among the best. And I worked really hard, and like I said, I was really blessed to have good trainers, and who pushed me. And even now when I'm with India, they are really good to me. And I think one of the key factor that I have is the speed, which is, I didn't work on it, so it's my natural gift, I would say. But in terms of, because I'm a very you can see I'm not that big boy, I'm a very skinny, but I worked on my strength, and I think just working on my core and not lifting as much heavy weights, just my body weight, and just do a lot of reps, which helped me not to become too big but strong.
With his resume of playing football, one moment that has been special to him was representing his country in the Olympics.
Olympic was huge. I think every player's dream is to play in Olympics, and I was very lucky. And I just want to thank Frank for picking me. And I loved it. It was a good experience for me personally. Playing with some good players, and we were in a very tough pool with Germany, Korea, and Mexico. But we learned. I think, especially me, I learned a lot from those players, and I put it in my game, and
Meeting some well-known international players gave him the opportunity to learn and improve his own game.
Some of them were nice, some of them were they don't want to talk to us, but as we Fijians, we are very friendly, so we try to go forward and shake hands and say, how are you? So especially I was trying to know, I was asking them what you guys eat, and how you reached here, and just want to listen to their soccer career. So I learned a lot from them.
Speaking to Krishna, I couldn't help but ask who his favorite team was.
My favorite team? I just want to congrats Liverpool. I think this morning when I woke up, the first thing I looked to my left, I saw my wife with a big smile. She's a Liverpool fan. But I watched Liverpool, especially this season. They played some good football, and they deserve to win the championship. But I'm a Barcelona fan. Die-hard Barcelona.
Given this opportunity, I had to ask the most famous question in football.
Well, they both are two individual players, so I will say Ronaldo is more of an athlete because he worked really hard to where he is today. And Messi is, he also worked hard, but he's a player that was God gifted. Like, you can see him, he's just a normal guy, and he just so good. Like, for me, that's what gives me an edge to say Messi, because for me Messi is, yeah, he worked really hard, but if you see him, he's not as a true athlete, where you see Cristiano, he's a proper athlete. So I would say Messi.
Everyone comes across a moment in life when they feel like giving up. Krishna said he is no different.
Yeah, there were a lot of moments, especially when you're in a professional environment. There is a lot of pressure, and I know I went through a very tough time at my old club, Wellington Phoenix, and it was 2 seasons before I left the club. And yeah, I think me and coach, we were not on the same page. But and as a player, when you go through those kind of phases, it's not good. But like I said, I was very lucky to have my wife there when I get home, because mentally I was very disturbed. But yeah, I worked on it, and and the following season I was much stronger. And I knew what was my aim, and we can see that before I left Phoenix, I was a top goal scorer. So yeah, there was a bit of moment, but like I said, it made me a better person today.
What's next for Krishna is the question that dwells on everyone's mind.
Next, can't wait to go back to India. Hopefully this COVID-19 pandemic, goes away and everything goes back to normal. And yeah, and hope to see everyone smiling and going back to work and love what they do. So for me, just going back to India and have another good season, maybe better season than the previous one.
There are a few people, whether young or old, who see Krishna as an inspiration. So he had a few words for every one of them out there.
Wow. I was never give up. Never mind. I'll share a story. When I was playing football at a younger age, and people say, football will not give you food. And if you say in Hindi, "Soka khana nahi de." So yeah, that gave me a shock, and I just felt like, oh, maybe I need to do something else. But that kind of pushed me also, and I wanted to prove them. And even now, when I go back to the village and when I see them, I just want to say thank you for saying that on my face at that time. And and in a way, they pushed me to where I am today. So I'll tell the same thing to the young boys. Just be who you are, and if you want to play football, just enjoy and be fit, and just respect people that respect you. It's one of the main things that I've learned. In order to gain respect, you have to respect other people. But if you not get the same respect, then you have to move on. So yeah, I think just work hard, be humble, who you are, just enjoy. And if people say football will not give you anything, just take it. And when you be maybe for some it will not work, but just give everything, and hope you achieve what you achieve in life, and all the best.
Roy Krishna is a very well-known name in Fiji, and his status as a superstar is of no question. But talking to him felt like I was talking to any other person because of his down-to-earth nature. It is evident that no matter where life takes him, Fiji will always be in his heart. Moaz Khan for The Breakfast Show.